If you want to know how to make good money as a copywriter, you're going to want to listen closely for this episode. So it's Monday, which means today is the day, Mailbox Monday, that I'm answering your questions about copywriting, marketing, business building, freelancing, and more. And I got another question from a copywriter who is one of my subscribers, said, how can I, a newbie copywriter, get to $5,000 per month in the next 6 months? I'm also torn between which niche to choose at the moment. I'm stuck looking for demand and profitability while choosing a niche I already have knowledge for or interest in. Thanks, Roy. And if you have a question that you'd like to have answered in an upcoming episode, check the link in the description for that to ask Roy your question. And don't forget to like and subscribe. If this is relevant to you, you're going to want more content like this. And the best way to do that is to like and subscribe. And hey, if you're on YouTube, you can hit that little bell icon so you get notified when new videos come out as well. With that, let's dive in. These are the proven direct response marketing, copywriting, and entrepreneurship success strategies you can use today to write your own ticket and create the life you want. I am Roy Furr, and this is Breakthrough Marketing Secrets. Now, here's today's breakthrough. All right, let's go. Today's sponsor, as usual, is me. And I'm going to keep this simple. Hey, if you want to make money as a copywriter, you should have a copy of my book, The Copywriter's Guide to Getting Paid. It is less than $5. And you can download it immediately, and it contains the most important principles and strategies for you as a copywriter to make good money. It is a foundation to lay. Now, there is more that we can pile on top of that foundation, that we can build on top of that foundation. But if you don't have that book yet, check the link in the description, The Copywriter's Guide to Getting Paid, and you will find yourself getting paid more as a copywriter. All right, so with that, 2 quick prerequisites before we dive into like the specific strategies, the specific answer to that question. 2 quick prerequisites that I have for you for copywriting success, for making a living, making good money as a copywriter. Number 1, there were some minimal but obvious typos in the question that I received. You need to, I said this a few days ago, you need to make your writing invisible, right? It needs to be about the message, and anything that I see, for example, overwriting or underwriting, is making your writing visible. And your writing needs to be invisible so the message can shine. And even casual emails or messages, like this question was actually typed into a form, right? Still, there shouldn't be an obvious typo. And there was at least one obvious typo in the question. And so you need to develop this habit of clean writing if you want to get paid for writing. Develop this habit of clean writing if you want to get paid for writing, so that your writing itself becomes invisible and your message becomes the feature. Number 2, second prerequisite, learn the structure of writing that gets action. This isn't specific feedback for this person. This is just, hey, this is something that you need to do. So you can think of this like at the most basic level, you need to hook their attention, you need to have whatever the content of your message is, and then you need to have a call to action. And any good copywriting is going to be based on that at like the highest level. So you need to get their attention, you need to make a pitch for your offer, product, service, or even just some action that you're asking them to take, and then you need to ask for that action. And so this can be as simple as like a headline, subheadline, and click here to sign up to download whatever, right? Or click here to download this free report. Right? That's a basic landing page. There's this headline that offers some kind of promise, subheadline that backs it up a little bit or makes it more enticing, and then a button that says, download now, or whatever the appropriate call to action is, right? But still, you need to get attention, make a pitch, and ask for action. If you're writing a very long video sales letter, for example, that could be, you're going to get their attention with the headline and lead. You're going to have a much more substantial pitch. That could be anywhere from a few hundred to a few thousand words. And then you're going to have a extended offer section that explains what they're getting and why they should be excited and give you their money. And that's asking for action. If you're going to do a webinar, you need to do the same thing. If you're going to do a landing page, you need to do the same thing. If you're going to do an email just to get traffic to a page, you need to do the same thing. Get their attention, make a pitch for the action that you want them to take, and then ask for them to take that action. So this is a prerequisite to being a copywriter, and you need to understand how all of this fits into any media choice And number one is just about turning on your radar for that. How is this person hooking my attention? What is the pitch that they're making? How are they justifying it, backing it up, making me want it? And then how do they ask for action? It doesn't matter if it's long, short, offline, online, whatever. Basic copywriting is not that complicated. There's a book, the basic idea behind this book, honestly, is pretty much enough to, I don't know, there's some good examples in it, but the idea is pretty transformational. There's this book called Method Marketing, and it's by Denny Hatch. And at this point, it's become kind of a collector's item, so it's not cheap to grab a copy usually. But basically what Denny said is, if you are able to get yourself into the mind of your market, your prospect, your person that you're asking to respond, and write a message from that perspective, it doesn't matter how much or how little copywriting experience you have, you can generate some substantial, amazing results. And he gives examples of people who are writing their first sales letter or like appeal letter if it was for a nonprofit, and how just by getting in the mind of their prospect, they were able to achieve incredible success. And he also gives examples of people who were huge successful copywriters, and he shows the exact same thing. And he says, it's not really about having 20 years of experience in copywriting, it's about connecting with your audience. And that idea, if you're able to do that using that hook content CTA structure, well, you're probably going to have the fundamental skills that you need to, let's bring this back around, make $5,000 or more per month as a copywriter. So let's dive into that. So the question was, how as a newbie copywriter do I get to that $5,000 a month in the next 6 months? There was the question about niche, etc. If you want to make $5,000 per month as a copywriter, it is about your core offer. It's about your core offer, developing a core offer that will get you there. So I actually have training about this. I'll include a link in the description as well. Copywriter's Roadmap to Building a Core Offer. But the basic premise is, what specific value are you going to create for a specific market or target audience, right? That's worth paying you that much. So like, if you're creating zero value and you're like, I just want $5,000 a month as a copywriter, well, good luck. If you're creating $500,000 a month in value for clients and you're saying, I want $5,000 per month, well, $5,000 is actually cheap for that, right? But the question is, like, how are you going to create that value? And then how does it all add up? I mean, there's some really basic math. If you assume that there's about 20 working days in a month, and if you want $5,000 per month, you need to make about $250 per day, or create something equivalent to paying you $250 per day. So let's, again, basic math here. If you're doing a bunch of $50 projects on Upwork, that's 5 $50 projects per day, every working day for those 20 working days per month. So you're doing $150 projects per month to get to $5,000 a month. And considering that Upwork likes to push fees down to that level, man, you can understand why my suggestion, if you want to really make good money as a copywriter, is maybe use Upwork or sites like that to establish a track record and reputation, but quickly move away from that. If you're not one of those people who's able to like push your fees way up on Upwork and say, don't hire all the cheap people here, hire me because I'm going to provide more value. So what happens if we go from like a $50 project to a $500 project? Well, suddenly you need to do half a project per day or one project every 2 days. And you go from having to get 100 project agreements down to 10 project agreements, okay? It's a big difference, right? Getting 100 clients versus getting 10 clients. That's 10 $500 projects per month gets you to $5,000. Basic math, like I said, but this is an important foundation that you need to understand. Now, what if you find a way that you're creating enough value that you're able to get paid $2,500 per project? Well, you need 2 of those per month, or 1 every couple weeks, to do a $2,500 project and to launch that with a client, and boom, you need to get 2 clients per month at $2,500 a piece, and you're good. Or if you have a $5,000 project, you just need one of those per month to get that $5,000. A $10,000 project, you can do one of those every 2 months, and you'd be making $5,000 per month. Which all begs the question, yeah, this is some basic, simple math, but which copywriters are actually worth paying those fees to, the higher fees, right? Which copywriters do and do not make $5,000 per month? Well, it's actually not about you. It's not about you. It's about your client. I kind of spoke to this already, but they don't care. Your potential clients don't care that you want to make $5,000 per month. They don't. I'm sorry. They care about what's in it for them. And the quicker you can get this through your head, the quicker you're going to start making more money as a copywriter. Because you can't make it about you and what you need and what you want. You make it about them and how much value you're creating for them, and you get them their desired result. And it becomes so much easier to either ask that client for, I want the money, right? Or if that client is unwilling to increase the compensation commensurate with the value that you're providing, then take that story of success and take it to the next client and say, I just got this result over here. If you want me to get this result for you, well, here's how much my fee is, right? So you need to make it about your client and the success that you're creating for them. And so, for example, like what's worth more? I talk about this in the Copywriter's Guide to Getting Paid. And again, the link is in the description. That's today's sponsor for today's episode. It's the first link in the description. The copy that's closer to the sale that's actually generating the results, or the copy that's further from the sale that's not generating the results. So, some people get into copywriting and they're like, oh, I hate salesy copy. I hate copy that's telling people what to do and what actions they need to take. And I hate copy that's manipulating people into buying something that, by the way, those people actually want that thing, right? But I hate that. So I just want to focus on content, right? Or the person that says, listen, I want to work with clients that have great products that fulfill on their promises, and I want to help sell the heck out of those products or services, right? And so I'm going to create all the copy that actually makes clients give money, right? Or makes my clients' customers give money. Well, it's that copy that's close to the sale that is worth so much more to clients, because they can see that direct, lineage of actions that are taken. This person, clicked on the email that this copywriter wrote, clicked on the link in the email, opened the email, clicked on the link in the email, and then they went to this landing page that this copywriter wrote, and then they went to the order form because they had gone through the landing page, and then they actually gave us money. And maybe they also gave us money for an upsell, right? So it's copy that's close to the sale, copy that generates leads, customer sales, and profits for clients that is worth more. So if you want to do $5,000 projects, $10,000 projects, $100,000 projects, you need to be generating multiples of whatever that is with projects in terms of traceable revenue. And that's copy that's close to the sale versus like blog posts. $50 blog post, $20 blog post, $10 blog posts, right? How many $10 blog posts is it going to take you to get to $5,000 a month? 500. Can you write 50 blog posts a day? I don't think so. I guess it would be 25 blog posts a day. Sorry. Yeah. Focus on copy that's close to the sale, that's generating money, versus copy that, or something that's maybe desired by the client, but that does not have that ROI. So when you think about choosing niches, for example, it's where can you apply that skill of I can generate leads, customer sales, and profits to a business that's generating significant money to pay me $5,000 a month. Now, you don't have to go into one of the giant niches that has billions of dollars per revenue being generated. If you can find one great client in a niche that you love, who you're able to partner up with and generate great results, you could easily be making $10,000, $20,000, $30,000, $50,000 a month if you're generating enough results to justify it. just because you're in a niche that you are really able to connect with the customer. Back to that idea of method marketing. And if you can really connect with the customer and what their core desires are and why they would want to buy a product or service, even if you don't have a ton of experience, there are businesses in lots of niches making 7, 8, maybe even 9 figures that need copy written consistently. And it may not be in one of those big obvious niches, but it's where you can tie your skill of generating response, generating leads, customer sales, and profits to a business that has enough money to justify that expense. Now, what I will say specific to clients is if you are working with bigger clients, there's typically a lot more money flowing. Like if they have a lot more revenue, they have a bigger list, all of that, right? And some people think I don't want to go after the bigger businesses early on because maybe I'm not ready. But if you're a small fish in a big pond, it can actually be good early because you can get more support. And by small fish in a big pond, I mean working inside a bigger business, right? With maybe copywriters who are better than you. You can get more support, you can get more feedback, you can get more, mixing of ideas and inspiration. You can have somebody who is there helping you become a better copywriter. And you can learn a lot and you can grow a lot and you can achieve a lot of success. And then later on, you might want to be the superstar who's like the top copywriter at a business. But getting started, don't be afraid to work with someone who's much better than you. Heck, at any time in your career, don't be afraid to work with someone who's much better than you and grow as a result. So let's wrap this up by saying how to reliably make $5,000 per month as a copywriter. Well, you have one of two choices. And we'll say 5,000 plus, okay? And I definitely go much deeper into the development of the core offer and all of that in that Copywriter's Roadmap to Building a Core Offer training. But if you want to reliably make $5,000 or more per month as a copywriter, you've got one of two choices. One, you can get lots of work from a few clients. So for example, you could get a job that the employer thinks, yeah, this is worth $5,000 per month. I mean, that's not that much in terms of a salary. $30,000 is not that high of an entry-level salary for a marketing person. You can get a job. I'm sorry, that would be $60,000. I did the math wrong. $60,000 is a little bit high, but if you really approach this from the perspective of you're going to maximize the value you create for a potential client, then actually going back and saying, hey, I'm really focused on generating as much value for you as possible. You are this successful business. Maybe I start at $36,000 or something like that, but my goal is to generate enough success such that in 6 months, you are going to want to pay me $60,000 to keep me around. And if you approach an employer like that, like I am going to create so much success for you that you're going to want to keep me around and pay me this much, entrepreneurial type minds and thinkers and leaders and companies are going to be pretty open to that kind of arrangement if you really approach from that perspective. But then you're going to have to deliver on what that promise is, right? Anyways, getting a job can be a great way to accelerate your success as a copywriter. Getting one or more retainers. So if you could get a couple clients that pay you $2,500 per month, if you did, let's say we did 3 clients that paid you $2,000 each per month. So there's a little bit of flexibility there, a little bit of overage beyond that goal. And you said, how can I make sure that I'm delivering well over $2,000 per month in value to these clients, right? 10x that, 20x that. And you do retainer work that allows you to do that. Okay, awesome. Lots of work from a few clients, or even just one client. If you prove early on that you have some decent capability, decent chops as a copywriter, you could get one client who's willing to pay you $5,000 per month to just write copy for them. Or you could get some work from lots of clients. So one of two choices to reliably make $5,000 plus per month as a copywriter. The first one was lots of work from a few clients, either as a job or retainer. The second one is some work from lots of clients. Tricky part about this is you need a good client acquisition system. you need to understand what it takes to go out and get clients on a consistent basis and maybe overshoot on your work volume. So you aim to have more demand for your work than you have supply of time to deliver it. And of course, when you do that, you can also raise your prices and lots of other things that are going to help. But basically, the number one thing that you need to figure out is how can I get, whether I'm doing $50 projects, $500 projects, $5,000 projects, how can I get enough people interested in me so that I have ample clients asking for that project, that type of project, such that every month I'm able to achieve my work volume requirement to get my income, right? And that's a whole different topic for a whole different day. This is already a longer daily episode from me. But that's the thing. Like you break this down into basic math and you say, what's required to get the work that will meet those math requirements? And, going through the content in the Copywriter's Guide to Getting Paid and making sure that you understand those principles and strategies, maybe going into the Copywriter's Roadmap to Building a Core Offer, which is that entire training was actually structured as an answer to this question, how to make at least $5,000 per month as a copywriter and how to build out offers that can do that and the different types of offers at work, etc. So check those out. And if you have a question that you'd like to have answered, you can certainly submit that to me at the link in the description, as well as don't forget to like and subscribe so you can get more content like this delivered to you. I'm Roy Furr. This is Breakthrough Marketing Secrets Mailbox Monday, where I'm answering your questions. And make sure, again, that you are subscribed so you can get more content like this delivered to you. I'll catch you again in the next episode. Thank you once again for tuning in to this daily episode of Breakthrough Marketing Secrets. Remember, check out the links with this episode for even more value. Now make sure you like, comment, share, subscribe, and engage in every way you can to keep this show going and growing and delivering daily value to you. I'll catch you soon for your next big breakthrough.